So now I'd like to show you how to manage your breakout rooms as a trainer. So first of all, go to your calendar and the day of the training. You can see here I've got my main training event and I've actually got 3 breakout rooms. So the first thing you must do is open all of your rooms. If you don't open the rooms, then when you share the links to your delegates, they won't be able to access it. So I'm going to start by opening my main room, clicking the event, clicking join, and join now. And of course there might be other setup pieces that I do here, testing my sharing screens, etc. But for now, I'm just going to set it up how I like it for training. So I'm going to maximize, put it on half the screen, and then I'm actually going to put my lesson plan next to it. And you can see here, I'm all set up with my lesson plan. It's got my instructions for the day, my timings, and most importantly from our breakout rooms, I've got my groups already set up, the links already, and the instructions ready to copy and paste across into the training. So I'm good to go on the training events. Now I need to go back to my teams. I'm going to close this event and I'm going to open my breakout rooms. So if I start with breakout room 1, click on the event and click join and join now. Now, when I'm working in my breakout rooms, I'm going to have multiple rooms working at once with people in every single one. So I want to be able to navigate between those windows very easily. So a little bit of setup that I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to drag this breakout room over to the left-hand corner and just minimize it so that it fits kind of in the top quarter. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit perfectly. There will be a bit of overlap, but that's okay. So that's my first breakout room set up. If I now go back and close this event, I can go and open my second breakout room. Again, click join now. Now, of course, I am just on hold in my other meeting rooms, that's fine. So I'm going to drag my second breakout room down to the bottom left-hand corner here. And I'm going to shrink it down a bit so it fits. Now I'll just show you what I mean about the overlap. If I go down to my taskbar and show you both breakout room 1 and breakout room 2, you can see there's kind of an overlap, but basically we can easily flick between them by clicking on the main screen. Now I still have one left to do, so if we click on close and go back and open breakout room 3, click on join, and again join now. The last breakout room I'm going to pop down here. Now you can only have a maximum of 3 breakout rooms because you can only be part of 4 Microsoft Teams meetings at once. So you need your main room and then 3 breakout rooms. That allows 4 groups, which is pretty good. Now if I show you what this looks like in action by selecting each of these breakout rooms. Now these will all be in the background. So the training starts, maybe my breakout rooms, I don't even need them for a while, but they're there ready to use when I need them. So if I go back to my main training room, and I'll just need to maybe resize this again and resume to go back into the main training room. Bring up my lesson plan. Let's imagine we're at the point of the training day when I would like to use the breakout rooms. So what I always like to do is make sure I share some instructions with the delegates so they know exactly how to use that. Again, I'd have that ready in the background. Maybe just copy those instructions and then I can actually paste them into the chat and let my delegates have a little look at that. There we go. While they're having a read through of those instructions, this does give me an opportunity just to make any last minute changes to the breakout rooms that I need to. So for example, you realise there's an extra delegate and you want to add them to room number 1 or the main room, then actually you can do that then. You might need to delete a delegate because actually they didn't turn up. If there's somebody that's got technical issues or they're struggling a little bit, maybe they're not so confident with their IT, I'd always keep them in Team A so they don't need to actually go anywhere, they don't have to click on any links, and it keeps it nice and simple. Once we're ready, I would copy the instructions here and again paste them into the chat. Now the delegates are going to be selecting the links in the chat, but actually you don't need to do that because you already have your meeting room set up. So what I'm going to do is just set up our main room so it sits in the top corner here. And again, it takes a little bit of practice to do this whilst talking to your delegates. But if I minimize my lesson plan, I can now see I've got 4 rooms ready to go. So let's imagine the delegates are now moving into our other rooms. Now they need some instructions. Hopefully I've already given them some instructions of what I expect them to discuss, the role play I expect them to do. I do think it's really important to have those there as a reminder in their chats though. So what you can do is you can actually go to the chat of each of these rooms, even if you're not even in it, and you can actually add those instructions. Go to the chat of breakout room 2, add those instructions. Now of course some people might still be lingering, they might be taking a little bit longer to get there. But we pop those instructions in. We can now go to those rooms and check that everybody's happy. So to go to that meeting room, you go and click resume. That takes me to breakout room number 1, and I can imagine people chatting, checking that they're all okay. Then we can go to breakout room 2, click resume. That takes us there. Go to breakout room 3, click resume, and chat to the people there. Now it's very important to set time limits on your breakout rooms. Again, maybe it'd be good to have put that in the instructions that I copied and pasted into the chat. Once your delegates are done, all they need to do is leave their breakout rooms and they'll go back to the main room. You might need to go and remind them, so you might need to pop into breakout room 1 and say, hey guys, actually time's up, do you mind coming back? You want to stay in those breakout rooms, so just if you want to go back to your main room, you just go back up to your main event and click resume, and you'll be back in the training. And of course, once you get back into training mode, we might expand this window and get my lesson plan back up again.